Get the latest conditions from around Central Virginia with WeatherNet from 12 on your side First Alert Weather, sponsored by B&W Builders. Sunday Night Football is brought to you locally on 12 on your side by GMC Elite Dealers.
This is 12 on your side.
Now at 11, after a snow drought of more than 1,000 days, the wait is over. The snow is here, coming down all across our region tonight. We are all under a state of emergency because snow and ice could make things treacherous in the next few hours. In fact, some crashes are already being reported. A tractor-trailer accident is shutting down lanes of 95 in Chesterfield. The snow is also shutting down schools, businesses, and government offices tomorrow. Our list continues to grow. And we are not alone. This is a live look from Kentucky, which saw whiteout conditions earlier today. We have live team coverage for you on this First Alert Weather Day. Our meteorologists Khalil, McIver, and Ross Runner updating the wintry forecast. Let's start with Ross.
And Riley, I'll tell you, it's been a snow drought, but as you mentioned, it is over now. We have a winter storm warning now in effect through Tuesday morning. This does include the Farmville area, all of Metro Richmond out towards the northern neck, areas to the south. You have a winter weather advisory in effect, and we've had quite the burst of snow this evening. Anywhere from 1 to 3 inches, locally up to 4 has fallen. It is starting to taper off a little bit now west of I-95, but still some pretty good snow here around the Tri-Cities, up into Charles City, New Kent County, all the way up towards Tappahannock and the northern neck. Western Piedmont, a bit of a break, but we have now more of that wintry mix showing up in our southern Virginia counties. And we're going to see a lot more of that developing as we head through the overnight. Current temperatures below freezing throughout the entire region, and snowfall totals, again, impressive with this first batch that has come on through. Dillwyn about 4 inches there, 2.5 in Prince George, approaching 3 in Chesterfield, close to 2.5 in the west end of Henrico County. Fort Gregg Adams near the Tri-Cities, nearly 3 inches. Midlothian right around 3 inches as well, and we have more precipitation expected to develop during the overnight. Our storm still back here in the Tennessee Valley, so a lot more moisture to come. We'll get a lull probably for just a few hours before this fills back in with a wintry mix across the southern tier, snow mainly to the north. For more on a timeline of what we expect across the area as we head through the day tomorrow as well, here's Khalil.
Yeah, thanks, Ross. We're going to be expecting snow mainly towards the north of Hanover. So if those of you who are real snow snow enthusiasts are going to really like the forecast here, but in the meantime, we're going to see mostly snow as we continue on through the overnight hours as you head towards points north of Hanover, as you get closer towards Spotsylvania, Louisa, Orange County. Some snow showers still as we head towards 1 o'clock Monday. Then as we head towards the afternoon into the evening, another burst of snow moving on into the region as temperatures again fall below freezing. And then we'll see cloudy skies as the system makes its way on out towards the east as we head closer towards Tuesday. Now, looking ahead towards the next, again, looking more so towards here, we're going to see again Richmond seeing the potential for some wintry mix as we head overnight. Still some snow to fall over the course of the next couple of hours. Perhaps a small break in the action before that transition with some sleet and possibility of some freezing rain. That's what's going to make the roadways rather treacherous tomorrow morning, and could possibly see some downed tree limbs as well as power outages possible. Now, as we head then into the middle of the day, seeing a chance of some showers as we see the temperatures rise above freezing. That's going to, again, affect some of these snowfall totals, but that as we head towards the late afternoon into the evening, that's when, again, see some more snow as we head on into the evening. And then, again, of course, we'll see that all out of the area by 11 o'clock. Now, further south towards the southern portion of our viewing area, south of the Tri-Cities, we're going to see cloudy skies, a better chance of some wintry mix and freezing rain, though overall, compared to everyone else, you're going to see the lesser impacts of this storm, but still could see some freezing rain tomorrow morning, some light rain again, once those temperatures again rise above freezing. More snow showers as we then head towards the evening, and then we'll start to see that again clearing out by 11 o'clock. We'll time everything out and see what's ahead after the storm coming up in your full forecast later on. Back to you, Riley.
Okay, we'll check back soon. Thank you, Khalil. And with all this winter weather and these dicey conditions, it's a great time to download our free First Alert Weather app. Just scan that QR code on your screen or search 12 on your side in the App Store for the latest alerts and advisories sent right to your home screen. And you can always get a check on the forecast with our 24/7 weather streaming channel. It's constantly updating with current temperatures and First Alert Doppler radar. You can find it over on our website or wherever you stream us. There are already more than 200 closings and delays tomorrow. Most of the major public school systems are closed Monday. That includes Chesterfield, Hanover, Henrico, Petersburg, and the city of Richmond. We also have businesses, daycares, many government offices are closed. The list is there at the bottom of your screen, as well as on our news app and on 12onyourside.com. VDOT crews are working around the clock tonight, ready to clear out any snow or ice sticking to those roads. Here are multiple live views of Interstate 64 and 95 across RVA. In Chesterfield, crews are working a tractor-trailer accident on 95 South. No word on injuries, but at last check, all southbound lanes of 95 were closed. It's a messy night to be out and only expected to get worse. Madison McNamee is on your side live at VDOT, where she's been talking to them about their plans for the next few hours. Maddie.
Riley, the pre-treatment work VDOT did seems to be working around here at least. I will say one of the bigger issues we saw on the road on the Lothian Turnpike to get here is it's a little bit difficult to see some of the white lines on the roads right now. A bit confusing with the snow in the air and hitting the ground. It's kind of hard to tell where one lane starts and where another lane ends. But as for the actual pavement itself, I will say it's not as bad as you would think it would be right now, given this whole kind of winter wonderland look we have going on. But I'll prove it to you. Take a look at this. So right here, we've got about 2 inches of snow. I just measured it with a ruler a couple of minutes ago. All right, so we've got a nice white blanket right here. But then if you look just to the side over at the road over here, you already have that kind of slushy, gray, gross materials to the sides of the road. And the pavement itself is pretty clear, and that shows that it's pre-treatment, the kind of salt solution that VDOT put on these roads is working so far. You see one car flying by right now, actually. And we have seen a handful of snowplows driving around. We just saw one in action for the first time with its plow down on the ground. Before that, they were all kind of in standby mode, I'm told, waiting until there were 2 inches of snow on the ground. That's when they shift to cleanup mode on these roads. And then they're also treating them with a salt and sand mixture that will help melt any future ice or slush that we are going to be seeing into the early morning here. I have been told, though, cleanup is expected to be a multi-day effort as the team at VDOT anticipates the roads are becoming slick and hazardous quickly with the intensity of this storm.
It is all hands on deck at this moment, with crews being staged, like I mentioned, across the entire 14-county district. They are working around the clock and will be addressing any issues during and after the storm.
Virginia State Police is already seeing the impact of this weather with an increase in crashes this afternoon and tonight. You heard one from Riley earlier, and from 4 to 8 p.m. there were 6 in the Richmond area, but in the southwestern part of the Commonwealth there were 47 crashes and 5 injuries in that time period alone. So this is your reminder to not only check the weather where you are, but if you are traveling, check what it's going to be like in that spot as well. And of course, you should report any issues to VDOT's 511 app, or you can give them to us, and we are going to be keeping you updated on all of these conditions as they are going on. We're going to send it back to you guys live at VDOT headquarters. Madison McNamee, 12 on your side.
All right, Maddie, thank you. And while the best advice is to stay home, we know some of you can't do that. Some of you have to drive overnight or in the morning to get to work, but you can take steps right now to make that trip as safe as possible. Experts from AAA say one of the biggest tips is to make sure you have an emergency car kit, because that can make all the difference, especially if you get stuck or stranded in traffic like some drivers were on Interstate 95 3 years ago.
If you get up to a higher speed on, say, a parkway or an interstate, it's going to blow off. We've seen those ice chunks blow off, cause crashes behind you, damage windows and windshields, and cause injuries and even deaths out there.
Morgan Dean with AAA also says, remember, freezing rain can be way more dangerous than snow, so if you go out, watch out for that black ice. And tonight, the Virginia National Guard on standby to help where needed. Right now, about 70 soldiers are stationed at key locations along I-95 and the Route 29 corridor. They are ready to help with clearing roads and storm debris and help power crews reach those neighborhoods. 20 more soldiers and members of the Virginia Defense Force are also on standby. All of this as Virginia remains under a state of emergency. And with the snow steadily coming down in some parts of our viewing area and freezing rain expected to come overnight, power outages are a big concern. That's why crews are on standby and ready to go. Destini Harris continuing our team coverage tonight. She's live to help you out ahead of any outages. Destini.
Yeah, Riley, thankfully those outage numbers are very low right now. I just checked in with Dominion Energy, Rappahannock, and Southside Electric, but we know that that could change overnight into the morning. So if you haven't already, make sure to charge your devices, phones, computers, and medical devices, and store some water just to be on the safe side. Dominion Energy says if you do need to report an outage, it's helpful to give as much detail as possible so crews can know what they're coming to tackle, such as if you hear a transformer blow or if there's a tree down on the power line. Most importantly, be sure to not go near it.
Stay at least 30 feet away. The line could be energized and dangerous, so just assume that it is. And likewise, tell your family, keep pets away from anything, anybody that could touch that line.
Craig Harper with Dominion also says if you do have to turn on your generator, be sure it's operating outside with good ventilation because it is bad to take in some of those fumes. And again, if you haven't already, charge those devices, get the flashlights, candles, and batteries nearby just in case your power does go out. Live in Richmond, I'm Destini Harris, 12 on your side.
All right, Destini, thank you. Stay warm out there. And as we continue to track this wintry mix, we are not alone. Millions nationwide are dealing with dangerous conditions. Heavy snow and dangerous ice is crippling travel, causing major delays and canceled flights at airports. Jen Sullivan continues our coverage tonight as the storm moves across several states.
A monster winter storm bearing down on millions of Americans. The powerful weather system stretching across at least a dozen states from Kansas to the East Coast. Nearly 70 million people are under winter alerts with blizzard-like conditions, dangerous ice, and wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour.
It's rapidly coming down, getting worse.
This Kansas Highway Patrol trooper telling drivers to stay home. He shared this terrifying photo of a car smushed between two semis, and these photos of near whiteout conditions on Interstate 135.
There are some really bad conditions out here. There's a lot of snow, significant amount of snow.
In multiple cars and semis spinning out on the icy roads in Missouri, the Missouri Department of Transportation warning drivers not to travel.
We ask that you take steps to prepare yourself.
In Kentucky, state police sharing this photo of a mangled patrol car that was hit on I-65. The treacherous weather coming as millions of Americans return home from the holidays. As of Sunday afternoon, FlightAware reporting more than 1,000 flights canceled and more than 3,100 delayed across the U.S.
It's going to be that coating of ice first, then the snow is going to come down on top of it for some of these places, which makes it even more dangerous because you simply cannot see it.
It's not just the Central Plains and Mid-Atlantic experiencing horrific weather. In the South, 22 million people are under the risk of severe storms, including tornadoes. Jen Sullivan, 12 on your side.
And if you still have to get up and out tomorrow, our morning team is on your side with the very latest conditions 30 minutes earlier. So starting at 4 a.m., 12 News Today will be live with full team coverage as the storm closes in. We'll track the forecast and any issues out on the roads. And of course, we'll keep an eye on school closures as well. We're following local breaking news out of Chesterfield. Look at this video just released by the fire department. This is the convenience store on Times Square Drive near Woodlake. We're told the building is destroyed after some type of fire broke out just before 10:30 tonight. An employee called 911, but nobody was hurt. Everybody made it out okay. Officials don't believe the fire is suspicious, but the cause is still under investigation. Coming up, final goodbyes to former President Jimmy Carter. Lines wrapped around the Carter Center as mourners remember the lasting legacy of the 39th president. Plus, another live look from our weather garden tonight here in South Richmond. The snow's still pretty steady, but a little bit lighter right now. But this storm is not done with us yet. Right, Khalil?
It's quite wet, Riley. We're going to be tracking this storm as we take a quick look at what's happening out at the Stewart School. A nice coating of snow. All the details on your full First Alert forecast coming up in just a few minutes.